On our toes.
Good morning.
And good morning. I'm Carl Mingers. This is Aaron Burns. We are Weichert Realtors Main Edge, WRME Live, Mustang, Oklahoma. Don't let the Mustang confuse you because we do all of Central Oklahoma. Of course, we can do anything in Oklahoma, but Central Oklahoma is our cup of tea. That's where we're at.
And speaking of that, I had this conversation with somebody the other day, off topic here. In real estate, we're different.
Our modus operandi.
Right. Squirrel. Just because we are with the Weichert office does not mean we can't show you any other houses.
That's right.
They do not have to be listed with Weichert, and they do not have to be in Mustang. I can go show you a house in Norman that's listed with a Keller Williams or an Epic or whoever, Century 21, whoever it is, Bob Joe's Real Estate.
That's our job, is to educate our buyers.
Yes.
That what we can do, what all tools we have available to us. Sometimes I think we assume people know because of the interweb and all this stuff that everybody knows this stuff.
But they don't.
They don't. Okay.
So, unlike a car salesmanship or a home builder, we can take you more than just to our products we offer or that list houses we have listed. So,
well,
FYI.
Another thing we need to explain to some of our, I was explaining to my buyers this week that I was showing houses yesterday. Yes. Because they really like the way I've been handling everything. And they said, you're kind of different than anybody we've talked to about this stuff. I said, well, what do you feel is different? He goes, well, you are like answering every question. You're not trying to sell us anything. I'm pretty patient when it comes to this stuff. I don't want to force anybody into anything or even try to talk them into anything, okay? But we have so many tools at Weichert. If we just use them, and the agents will use them, we just, we have a different atmosphere. We have a different feel. One thing about, we're a debt-free company, okay? So as a debt-free company, I don't get commissionitis. Customers can smell that a mile away.
Yes.
And, clients, customers, I consider everybody I'm working with a customer, whether they're a client or whatever, buyer or a seller. They just, they got to know that I'm not desperate for that commission.
Right.
And I'm all about having agents in our agencies that are all about customer service. It's not about the commission, okay?
And that's one of the complaints you hear a lot. I feel like a paycheck. Well, I hate going furniture, car shopping, some of those, because you do. You walk in and you're like, you feel pushed to buy. You must buy from them.
That's why we get this reputation or reputation in this industry as used car salesmen. I hate that, and of course that's why I don't like going shopping for used cars for the most part, is you get attacked, okay? It's crazy. Well, what all do we got some open houses this weekend? Because it's going to be cold and rainy.
As far as I know, no, but that doesn't mean there won't be, so I will make sure it's posted, so just watch our Weichert Realtors Main Edge Facebook page. We do have a new listing going active today, though, for sure. 1208 Southwest 97th Street in Oklahoma City. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,100 square foot. It has a formal dining, living room, and den with a fireplace and wood-burning fireplace. Cute little house.
A real fireplace.
Yes. New carpet, freshly painted. So it hits the market today. So
I was just showing a house last night that has a gas fireplace, but there's no gas to the house. They have this one of these little propane bottles outside the house so you can turn your fire on. And I'm just like, that's kind of sad. Oh, gosh.
Well, I guess it's better than nothing.
Well, yeah. But that's what you hook up to your gas grill. If I want to turn on the gas in the fireplace, I want a flame come through that thing. So, of course, I'm kind of a pyromaniac. All right. Man, that weather out there. Of course, it's a beautiful day, but it's cold. The weather said it got down to 34 this morning. I was watching it, but I went out to feed the critters, and the water hoses froze solid. So, it was a little colder at my house than it was where the news guys are.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
The crazy weather here.
So, what else are we going to talk about today?
So also how we're different. We were talking about how we're different.
And culture in a real estate office is, key to agents being successful or not. I kind of pride us on our culture around here because we're all about helping each other.
Yes.
Okay. I've already mentioned we're a debt-free company, so we don't freak out over things. We just let things happen and make sure we go make things happen, but we make things happen for a reason.
Yes.
Each of our agents has their own goals and what they want to do, and sometimes a client isn't right for me.
No.
I need to give them to somebody that fits their criteria,
Right.
their deal,
or their needs.
A millennial is going to go to somebody else, and I love working with older people.
Right.
I know Stacy Hunter. She loves working with older people. She works with a lot of, really old people.
Yes.
But that's her passion. That's the way it needs to be. People need to be working inside the area that they're most comfortable with. Now, we're all about making sure you're trained to be a good agent, okay? And I am very frustrated in this industry with the lack of training, especially with first-year agents. Now, Weichert, we got the Weichert University, okay? And the cost is very minimal.
Yes.
But you learn all this stuff about how to get started. Our goal is to get you a sale or a listing in the first 30 days, okay? That's how you learn to stay in the business. If you don't have any activity, you're not going to stay in the business because the miscellaneous fees in this business will eat you up. It just will.
And part of us doing that, so us taking the time to train agents and take care of it, benefits and ripples into the customer side. So if we train our agents, we take care of our agents, it shows when they're taking care of their clients.
Right.
And how
our
they
number
can
one
serve
deal,
their
period,
clients.
across the board is customer service.
Yes.
Okay, we have to be taking care of that client. I understand. You have, every agent has their own life, their own stuff, but we practice on how to schedule our days, how to make sure we're making the time for our clients and for our families and stuff like that. I am all about a well-balanced business.
And that's part of too. Real estate, like any job, can be stressful.
Yes,
so
it can.
if we show our agents, even myself, I have to do it, Carl has to do it, to balance life and work, we're less stressful if we're in control of our schedule, which it sees, because if we're less stressed and we're calm about a house buying experience, then you're going to be calm about the house buying experience. It won't be stressful because we're not stressful. We're not all in panic mode.
Well, I tell you, when you're brand new in this business, unless you've been used to contracts and all this other stuff, it can be very intimidating. And, I just love it when an agent brings me a contract and they're like, oh, what do I do with this and this? And we just go through and we explain it. It's nice and smooth. And they're like, how can you be so calm about this? This is legal stuff. And it is. It's very intense legal stuff. And you can mess up somebody's life if you don't do it right. Okay? But after you've done hundreds of contracts, it is so easy. After you've done a dozen, you should be basically really set up and good to go. But I love dealing with, people go, I've had other brokers go, well, how do you know this? Well, I read lots of contracts. We've had lots of agents through here, and I look at contracts all the time, and I'm helping people with contracts all the time. Christine is helping people with contracts all the time. And the more you see, the more exposure you are. Just like any other kind of business or anything else, the more you're exposed to the ins and outs of how things work, and every transaction is different. The more you're exposed to that stuff, the better you get at it. And I love absorbing all the weird stuff you guys get into.
And that helps us too. Like Carl says, weird stuff. I have a magnet
the queen
for weird.
of weird contracts.
So I swear if it's happened, I have had it happen. But I like it in the sense of, if something else happens strange, it's like, not a big deal. This is how we do this.
I can fix that.
I mean, and even when it does happen initially, you're almost like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? Like, why would this happen? But it's still not a big deal. It's just you got to figure out how to fix it. And that helps with training. If you're trained, you're you're a little more calm when something crazy comes up and you figure it out. I have been on the phones with title companies for title insurance, asking questions, cities, counties, I mean, you name it. I've been diving down a rabbit trail.
My goal on every transaction is for everybody else to not know how difficult things are.
Yes.
When I deal with the title company, I love dealing with title companies. Some of them are just so outstanding. They know their stuff. They're not real estate agents. They know their title stuff.
Yes.
And I'm calling them all the time. Old Republic. They probably get tired of me. But if I've got a question for them, I just get on the horn. That helps me learn. And this is a total learning business.
Yes.
I've been in here. Oh my gosh, I've been in this business 10 years. That's a long time. I mean, for me, that's a long time for anything. I got socks older than that. But, you're learning all the time. If you love to learn, this is the kind of business you need to be in. And we love the flexible schedule if you can control it.
And then part of, you're talking about being in touch and handling. Like, I get a letter from a lender. I had to call a lender because we were doing an REO offer, which on their contract, because, REO is bank-owned property. So sometimes they use their own stuff. I needed some stuff that you normally don't need for a regular contract.
What is an REO?
Oh, I don't know.
Real estate owned by the bank. Okay. Remember, not everybody knows this stuff.
So anyway, sorry. Instead of having to chase down the client to tell them I needed this information and them having to try to explain it to the bank, I just got with the lender.
Right.
And she was awesome. She's like, oh, and I emailed her like 3 times because I came across something, got what I thought I needed, and then and she's like, oh, no problem, whatever you need. It makes it so much easier if it's just me or Carl or whoever your agent is the hub. It makes it easier for the client. So once they came in, I went over the contract with him, explained what this extra stuff I was, told him I already got the new pre-approval letter, and they were like,
that's another reason I'm picky about the vendors I use with my clients. If I'm not into adversarial agents, which we run into those all the time, I'm not going to talk to a lender or give my clients to a lender that talks down to them.
Right.
They're off my list, okay? But we've got some fantastic vendors, but that's our job, is to pull together the people that are going to make our little team in this deal work. And if it doesn't work and everything isn't congruent, I'm not doing my job right.
And the good thing about having good vendors, too, is my client asked about what a home inspection would cost on that. I text one of the home inspectors I use, hey, what do you charge for this? Text me back within 10 minutes. I was able to give him, well, this one charges this. So, give or take depending on who you use. But there's you an idea of what a home inspection would cost. So it's good to have contacts like that because we're able to ask a question. It's not exactly what you're going to pay if you don't use them, but you have an idea.
Right.
So they have an idea going into it about what they need.
And we're going to try to save you costs on those things. But we can, I'm not going to tell somebody, you got to use this inspector here. Okay. And we've had clients that wanted to do their father-in-law do the inspection or whatever. That's fine. That's your business. But you got to make sure, just because they're family doesn't mean they always know what they're doing. So we kind of sometimes have to step in and go, okay, we need to make sure there's some of these other things,
Right. And here's some options for you. Call and talk to these people. I had somebody ask about siding. I know nothing about siding. Told them to call Lowe's or someplace that sold siding or a siding company.
I find a siding company,
whoever.
Just like foundation stuff,
Ask the questions because they were asking about how expensive it is to replace and I don't know. But, it's as easy as finding a siding company or talking to someplace that does it that could answer those questions for you. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's
close.
We're rambling on and on.
We are.
Well, if you've watched this far, you need to understand why we do things the way we do. And, Weichert is the only franchise company out there that I found that, first of all, they're a debt-free company.
Yes,
They're a family-owned company.
that's huge.
And they have a lot of the same, I guess, Midwestern values or whatever
Right.
that I have. Okay, even though they're mainly from New Jersey.
Yes.
Okay, New Jersey. Okay,
Yes, they're right. And their cars.
the boys' choice in New Jersey. You know, I can't even
I hope
understand
none of
them when
them are
I'm talking
watching
to them
us.
up there. Oh well, nobody's watching by now anyway. You know, if you're at an agency and you're not comfortable, you need to come talk to us. Period. You know, one of the things I don't necessarily like in this business is how brokerages steal agents back and forth amongst themselves. But sometimes people have to go to another place to understand what they missed.
Well, and that's
at
in
their
any
last place.
business. I had one of my clients say she got a job offer. I was like, "Don't switch jobs. We haven't closed."
Oh,
She goes,
not in
"Oh,
the middle
no."
of a transaction.
She goes, "They've been offering me a job for years now." So it's in any industry. People, you know, if you're
Right.
good at what you do, somebody's gonna try to recruit you.
Yeah, it's like lenders. You know,
Yes.
I think they switch companies every time the ashtray's full in their car. You know, I mean, it's just kind of that way.
There's not ashtrays in cars anymore.
Oh, well, I got old stuff. So. All right, well, we better get off here. Go enjoy this beautiful, crisp spring day.
If you have questions or you want us to look at your house and give you a value or anything, holler or post.
Put some comments down here saying, man, you guys suck or whatever.
Right.
I don't
Quit
care.
rambling. Whatever.
All right, everybody, we're WRME Live, Mustang, Oklahoma, Weichert Realtors Main Edge, where we do real life, real world real estate every day. Come see us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.